Jeff Taylor and his wife Amy are driving from Boston to San Diego in their new Jeep Grand Cherokee. They've decided to move across the country because of financial problems and hope to find better job opportunities in San Diego. The car they're driving is actually on loan, so they're also feeling a bit of pressure to get their finances under control once they arrive. During the drive, Jeff reaches for something in the back seat, and at that moment, an old pickup truck suddenly pulls out in front of them. Jeff quickly swerves to avoid a crash. He gets annoyed and blames the truck driver for driving carelessly.
Maybe it's time we take a little break.
Yeah.
Later, they stop at a gas station to refuel and grab some snacks. While they are there, they run into the same truck driver again, a man named Earl. At first, Earl seems to like Jeff's car, but then he quickly brings up the earlier incident and complains that Jeff was the one driving badly on the road.
Do you even care that you damn near killed us back there, boy?
Jeff doesn't want any trouble, so he calmly apologizes and tells Earl to let it go. He tries to keep things peaceful and move on. Earl doesn't really accept the apology, though. He gets angry and leaves the station in a bad mood. After that, Jeff and Amy continue their trip towards San Diego. While driving, they talk about their situation and try to stay positive. Amy sees a promotional mailing contest and thinks about the prospects of winning $90,000. She wonders what could they do with all that money.
$90,000.
However, their trip takes a turn when their car suddenly breaks down in the middle of a quiet, empty road.
What did you do?
Oh, nothing.
They are stuck with no help nearby. Jeff tries to call for assistance, but there is no signal on his phone. They are basically stranded and not sure what to do next. After a while, they see a truck coming down the road. At first, it looks like it might be their chance for help, but it turns out to be Earl again. Instead of stopping, Earl just passes by and even mocks them as he drives off, which makes the situation more uncomfortable for Jeff and Amy. Things get more tense when Earl turns his truck around and comes back, as if he is planning something. Jeff and Amy start to worry about what he might do. Just as things are about to escalate, another large truck arrives. This forces Earl to back off and leave quickly. The second truck driver, Warren, turns out to be much more helpful and friendly. He stops to check on Jeff and Amy and takes a look at their car. After checking it, he thinks the engine might have overheated.
You've been riding this thing pretty hard because they tend to overheat when they're new.
He suggests that they should go to a nearby diner about 5 miles away, where they can use a payphone to call the tow truck. Even though Warren offers help, Jeff decides to stay with the car for a while and let it cool down before trying to start it again. Amy, on the other hand, considers taking Warren's offer to go to the diner. She thinks it might be a good idea to call for a tow truck and also get something cold to drink since the weather's really hot. With Jeff's approval, Amy gets into Warren's truck to go to the nearby diner and call for help, leaving Jeff behind with the broken down car. After waiting a while on the road, Jeff checks the car again. This time he notices that a couple of wires had come loose. He fixes them, and the car starts working again. Now that it seems drivable, he decides to head straight to the diner to meet Amy. When Jeff arrives at the diner, Amy is not there. He asks the bartender and some of the people inside, but no one seems to know anything useful. The bartender is quite rude and unhelpful.
Look, I'm pretty busy here. People come and go.
Jeff leaves a message for Amy with the bartender, hoping she will show up or come back, and then decides to look around the town himself. While searching, Jeff notices a truck that looks like Warren's. He tries to stop it, thinking it might be the same driver who gave Amy a ride. The truck stops, and it turns out to be Warren, but Amy is not with him. Jeff asks where Amy is, but Warren says he doesn't know what Jeff is talking about. He claims he has never met Jeff or Amy before.
It's like a half an hour ago, for Christ's sake. You don't remember?
Jeff is confused and starts to doubt what he is hearing. He looks inside the truck, but there is no sign of Amy. At that moment, a police car arrives. Jeff explains the ordeal to the officer, Deputy Len Carver. The deputy listens and then starts looking into Warren and his truck. Warren continues to deny everything, saying he has no idea who Jeff or Amy are. The officer inspects the truck carefully, but he doesn't find anything suspicious or any evidence that Amy was ever there. Because of this, he begins to think there might be a misunderstanding or that Jeff has mixed things up, especially since the trucks look similar. The deputy also suggests that Amy may have left on her own, based on other similar cases he has seen. Jeff disagrees strongly, saying he knows his wife and believes something is wrong. Since there is no solid evidence, the officer lets Warren go.
You're free to go. Whoa, wait a second. That's it?
This leaves Jeff frustrated and worried, as he is still convinced that Amy was in that truck and something happened to her. Jeff then goes to the police station to get more help. While there, he becomes more anxious after seeing photos of missing people, especially women who are around Amy's age. The situation starts to feel more serious and overwhelming for him. However, the police explain that since it has only been a short time since Amy went missing, they can't officially treat it as a confirmed kidnapping yet. They say they need either more evidence or something like a ransom call before taking stronger action. Feeling desperate, Jeff goes back to the diner to try again. He asks the bartender more questions, hoping to find any clue about Amy's visit or what happened after she left with Warren, but the bartender still doesn't give him any helpful answers. Frustrated and running out of options, Jeff demands to see the customer receipts from earlier, thinking it might show whether Amy was actually there. The argument gets heated, and the bartender ends up pulling out a gun, telling Jeff to leave immediately. Jeff has no choice but to back off and leave the diner.
Mister, I had just about enough of you.
Now even more unsure of what happened to Amy. A bit of hope shows up when a man named Billy approaches Jeff and says he saw Amy at the diner. He explains that Amy arrived in one truck, went inside for a short time, and then left with another man in a different truck. Billy also says that the man drove her toward Route 7 near the river. When Jeff asks for more details, Billy seems cautious and says they don't usually share that kind of information. He also keeps glancing at the bartender, who has come outside and is watching Jeff closely. It makes the situation feel a bit suspicious. Jeff asks Billy to come with him to the police, but Billy refuses and calls him foolish. He also suggests that the police might already be involved or know what's going on. Jeff doesn't get any real help from him. With no other clear leads, Jeff decides to take things into his own hands and drives toward Route 7 to try and find Amy himself. However, when he reaches the area, he finds the road blocked. At the same time, he comes face to face with Earl, who is now armed. This surprises Jeff, and he quickly turns his car around and tries to escape. Earl chases after him. Jeff tries to get away, but the road ahead is blocked by vehicles. As Earl gets closer, Jeff makes a risky decision and drives down a slope, causing his car to crash into a river. To avoid getting caught, he quickly gets out of the car and escapes. He follows the flow of the water and manages to get away from immediate danger, even though he has now lost his car, which Earl takes control of. Jeff is still alive, but now he is on his own with no transport. Just when things seem slightly calmer, Jeff is suddenly stopped by Billy again. This time, Billy is not helpful at all. Jeff realizes that Billy is actually working with Earl. Jeff learns that Billy and Earl were working together all along and that they were involved in Amy's disappearance. They are holding her and are trying to get money from Jeff in exchange for her release. After this, Jeff is taken to meet Warren again, who turns out to be the one organizing everything. Warren reveals more clearly that he is the one controlling the situation and giving the orders. Warren tells Jeff to go back to town and contact the bank manager to arrange a wire transfer from his account. He demands that Jeff move quickly and get the money transferred within a limited time before the police officer, Deputy Len, finishes his patrol. Warren warns Jeff that they are watching him closely. He also threatens that if Jeff doesn't cooperate, Amy will be harmed. Jeff is forced to follow Warren's instructions and goes to the town bank. He knows his condition is risky, especially since he only has about $5,000 in his account, nowhere near what the criminals think he has. At the bank, the manager notices that Jeff looks stressed and nervous, so he becomes suspicious. Jeff tries at one point to explain that something serious is going on, but he can't say much because there is another suspicious person inside the bank, and he doesn't want to make things worse. The bank manager seems to pick up on the situation without Jeff fully explaining it. He tells Jeff to wait while they prepare the cash, acting calm but observant. While waiting, Jeff looks for a possible way to defend himself. He goes into the bathroom and checks if he can find anything useful, like a weapon. He doesn't find anything he can properly use or hide. When he returns, he gets lucky. He notices that the bank manager has quietly left a small blade behind on the table, almost like it was meant for him to take. Jeff picks it up without drawing attention. After the money is prepared, Jeff is told to meet at a location on the main road. He leaves the bank and heads there, knowing things are getting more dangerous. Soon after, Earl shows up again and demands the money. Jeff wants to find Amy first, but Earl is armed and aggressive, so Jeff has no real choice. Earl hits him, takes control of the situation, and restrains him by taping his hands. Earl then contacts his partners and admits that he had sabotaged Jeff's car earlier at the gas station. He also makes it clear that the group had no intention of letting Jeff or Amy go safely, even if the money is delivered. Jeff manages to secretly use the small blade he got from the bank to cut through the tape on his hands. While this is happening, Earl opens the bag of money and realizes it is not $90,000, and instead, it is just bundles of $1 bills, showing that the criminals' expectations were completely wrong. A struggle breaks out between Jeff and Earl. During the fight, Jeff manages to take control of the vehicle. Earl ends up restrained inside the car, tied and unable to move freely. While driving, Jeff uses the situation to force answers out of Earl about Amy's location. Under pressure, Earl eventually reveals that Amy is being held at a truck stop. Just when Jeff is about to act on this information, Deputy Len arrives. He sees Jeff in control of the scenario and immediately assumes he is the criminal. Jeff tries to explain that Amy has been kidnapped and that Earl is responsible, but the officer doesn't believe him. Taking advantage of the confusion, Earl breaks free and escapes the car. He then shoots at Deputy Len and goes after Jeff. However, the injured officer manages to react quickly and shoots Earl, stopping him before he can cause more harm. After calling an ambulance over the police radio for Deputy Len, Jeff heads straight to the truck stop to try and find Amy. At the truck stop, he spots Warren talking on the phone with Billy. From their conversation, Jeff hears that they haven't heard from Earl in a while. Warren then tells Billy to take Amy to his barn, where they plan to decide what to do with her next. Jeff originally wanted to confront Warren right away, but after hearing this, his focus shifts completely to finding Amy. He realizes she is being moved again, and he needs to follow them. As Warren leaves, Jeff manages to sneak onto the back of Warren's truck and hides there while it drives away. He stays hidden during the entire trip. After a long ride, Warren arrives at his house and barn. He is greeted by his wife Arlene and his son Deke. While Warren is busy unloading things and opening the barn, Jeff uses the opportunity to quietly get off the truck and move closer. He climbs up onto the barn roof and finds a way inside through a window without being seen. Inside, Jeff discovers something disturbing. The barn is not just a holding place for Amy. There are signs that other people may have been kept there before too. There are belongings and items scattered around that suggest multiple victims have passed through. Soon after, Billy and another man arrive with Amy. At first, things look bad because Amy appears unresponsive, and they think she may have died from overheating in the truck due to exhaust exposure. Jeff is shocked when he hears this. The men begin discussing what to do with her body, planning to bury it. But then Amy suddenly regains consciousness, showing she was only unconscious or badly affected by heat, not actually dead. As the kidnappers prepare to move her into a basement freezer area, Amy briefly looks up and notices Jeff hiding above. Jeff stays still to avoid being seen. Amy is then taken down into the basement and locked inside. Once the group leaves the barn to eat dinner, Jeff looks around for anything useful. He tries to find tools to unlock the basement door, but nothing he finds works. Realizing he needs another plan, Jeff goes back outside and manages to get hold of a gun from a truck parked nearby. He then carefully sneaks into the house to confront the kidnappers. During dinner inside the house, Jeff suddenly appears with the gun. Jeff points the gun at Warren. He also tells Arlene the truth that he is not just some random man, but someone trying to rescue his kidnapped wife from their barn. Before Jeff can fully take control, Deke suddenly appears holding a rifle. The scenario becomes tense quickly. Deke says he always keeps the gun loaded to protect his mother, and Warren and Arlene pressure him to shoot. Jeff tries to calm the situation and tells them the child shouldn't be involved in this. He insists this is an adult problem, and Amy has nothing to do with them either. In the confusion, Jeff manages to act quickly and redirects the situation, causing a shot to go off that hits Al instead. Meanwhile, Billy takes the chance to escape and runs away. With the situation still unstable, Jeff keeps Warren at gunpoint and forces him to open the basement door. He also tells Arlene to show what is inside the basement freezer area, where Amy is being held. Arlene is shocked when she is taken into the basement and finds Amy there. Seeing Amy confirms for her that Warren has been involved in serious criminal activity. After this, Jeff decides to lock the rest of the group in the basement so they can't interfere anymore. Warren still tries to warn him and talk him out of it, but Jeff stays focused on getting Amy out safely. Outside the house, they notice a tow truck parked nearby. Jeff and Amy see this as a chance to escape, so they quickly try to reach it. However, the keys are not where they expect them to be, and they struggle to get it started. At the same time, Billy comes back to the house and frees Warren and the others from the basement. This immediately puts Jeff and Amy back in danger. Amy searches around the area and eventually finds the keys. But their situation gets worse again when Warren shows up with a large truck. He tries to use it to run them down before they can escape. Jeff and Amy manage to dodge the attack at the last second and get away. They jump into a vehicle and start driving off, trying to put distance between themselves and the group. But the escape doesn't last long. Warren and his accomplices get into their own vehicles and start chasing them. A high-speed pursuit begins as they try to catch Jeff and Amy. During the chase, things become chaotic. Warren loses some control of his truck because of traffic and road conditions. In the confusion, his vehicle collides with Al's car, taking it out of the chase. Even after that, Warren keeps pursuing them aggressively. The chase continues until they reach a bridge. where things become even more dangerous. On the bridge, Warren manages to ram into Amy's car. The impact is so strong that Amy's leg gets trapped in the wreckage, and their vehicle is left hanging in a very unstable position near the edge. Jeff gets out of the car and confronts Warren directly, knowing there is no other option left. The situation turns into a direct fight between the two of them on the bridge. Warren's truck is also left in a dangerous position, hanging and unstable. During the struggle, Warren tries to use a chain he has secured around his wrist, attempting to gain control over Jeff. The two fight for control in a tense moment, but Jeff eventually manages to overpower Warren. As a result, Warren loses his balance and falls off the bridge, landing on the rocks below. Jeff then quickly returns to Amy and helps her free her leg from the wreckage. Once she is finally out of the car, the two of them share a moment of relief and hug each other, glad to have survived everything. After that, they turn their attention back to Warren. Surprisingly, he is still alive despite the fall, badly injured, but not dead. Amy, still angry and shaken by everything that has happened, reacts strongly. She makes the truck on injured Warren, and this time his truck crushes him, finally ending the threat. With everything over, Jeff and Amy are finally safe and able to leave the scene together after surviving the entire ordeal.